And we are back on another Friday evening, live from Bravery Studios, Clifton, New Jersey. It is Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast. I forgot to turn the laptop down. I'm Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, always and forever on his worst behavior. I don't get hard, I stay hard. Mr. DM, find me in your mama's DMs. And on the other side of the screen, your name is?
It's your boy Alex the Hill, aka the Stanley of podcasting, and formerly known as the leader of the Fuck the Revival.
Well, actually, aren't they call themselves FTR now? Isn't their name until they land somewhere? Oh wait, now my phone is on. Jesus Christ, I've got too much stuff running here.
God damn, sir.
All right. My technology's all turned off now. All right. And as always, on the boards, the one and only Mr. Gnarly Marv.
Hurrah! What up? How we doing?
Not much.
You're doing pretty good. I had to call out of work today. My fucking lower back been hurting for like 2 days. So
shit, mine would too.
This is the full rest day.
It's just because of all this shit going on. Yeah, everything is just starting to get crazy.
Nah, fucking Home Depot don't care. Remember, I'm essential, so I gotta work. So niggas ain't coming to work, so I gotta do twice the work. So now my back is killing me.
Damn.
So yeah, it is what it is.
It's a domino effect.
I take an off day.
Yeah, today for me sucked at work because it was me and my boss for 5 hours. Just me and my boss.
Damn.
So I was the bitch. I had to run the register.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can't picture.
I don't run register. You can't pay around money.
I can't picture Darth having authority above him. I can't picture it.
Word. It sounds weird.
How was that weird?
I don't know. It just seems so odd.
Yeah, it was a weird day at work.
Darth probably 10
like
feet
we've been knowing you behind the scenes. Like we've been knowing you to be behind the scenes at your job, not being out in the ring. That shit just sound weird.
Word.
Yeah. Basically, I was in the ring today. Yeah.
Damn.
Usually I'm sitting gorilla, but not today.
Damn.
And speaking of sitting gorilla, how about all the people that got fired backstage at WWE?
Bro, they're calling it the darkest day in wrestling history.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It is. It's so bad. It's so bad now. And now that they what was it? It's so much shit is going down, so much shit is happening that so many events are closing that it's like the first time in years some events are closing now. And it's starting to get like worse as time go on. And now just letting go that many wrestlers, it's just Jesus Christ, dude. They let go so many people that actually was entertaining and actually worked and did anything they wanted and kept people like they shouldn't have. You know, Lana. Sorry,
yeah, that's weird that Rusev got fired and Lana's still there.
I have a theory that he's just bitter over having to close down the XFL again, so he fired everybody.
Well, okay, here's the thing about the XFL.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, let me explain the XFL situation. Vince McMahon sold personal stocks, not company stocks. He sold personal stock investments to get the $300 million to restart the XFL. So it doesn't affect WWE money whatsoever.
Nah, I know. I just think it's a pride thing.
Of course, he's a businessman. You have to cut your losses. You always find a way to recoup your losses when you're that type of businessman.
Another XFL in 20 years? What do you think?
No, he'll be dead by then. Thank God.
And the sad thing is, the XFL was actually fucking good this time around.
The corona.
Exactly.
It was the corona. It's not even his fault.
Like the one time Vince could have like recouped from the first XFL is the one time a world pandemic happens and then he has to go bankruptcy for the shit. Like this is his one shot to actually get it.
He was in a room like, damn, I can't win with this. Football don't want me.
Yeah. He's just not meant to run a football league.
Yo, it's so funny.
For him to run a real football league, he would have to step down from his position and then just focus on the football league with a whole bunch of other people.
Like we were hoping it was going to happen.
Would have been nice.
We were hoping that was going to happen, but it didn't work out that way.
Hey, look, football would have kept going, it probably would have, because it was bringing in more ratings than Raw and SmackDown could.
Yeah, it was, because the opening week of XFL, that Saturday, between the two games, they averaged like 3.4 million viewers.
Yeah, it's
like they was getting there.
I mean,
like, look,
it had dropped by week 4. It had dropped off, but it was basically even with Raw. It was like doing a little less than 2.5 million. So, football,
but check this
wrestling.
out, though. But check this out though. I just read something online earlier today that San Diego Comic-Con is canceled this year for the first time in the 51 years it's been doing it.
What month is that usually happen? I forgot.
August?
Fucking like next month.
Oh, for real? Oh, damn.
Yeah, it would have been like next. It would have been like almost end towards next month, and it's the first time it's been canceled in 51 years.
No, New York one's in October.
Oh, okay.
So the New York one still has a limelight right now, but almost every con that I planned on trying to go to or was like trying to like know about is like all canceled at this point.
Yep. Yeah, the world is shut down.
Yep.
But
And
WWE is still open as an essential business.
Yes.
Well, AEW is also still taping, but I think they're taping in Georgia, and in that same building that they've been doing Dynamite the last 2 weeks. But Impact is taping. I think they're taping in Tennessee or Kentucky, wherever the home office is.
No. Impact from what Mr. Kennedy and a couple of wrestlers said before, what Impact does is they tape every day and basically they ship out the episodes every week. So the last time he said he was wrestling in TNA, he said TNA will do 2 straight months of straight wrestling every day, and then they would just show it on TV once a week, that one episode. And they was like, basically, it gives them time to take time off, wrestle other places, do other shit without having to be on the road constantly. And they've just been doing it ever since because they don't know when their show is going to get, switched to another station or they're going to lose any kind of money. So they might as well just shoot all the shit they can in advance to get out of the way. That's why they still have a big crowd at their shows and nobody else does it.
Yo, George Jeff said they should wrestle at Bravery Studios.
Well, do we have enough space in the lobby?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Shit.
No audience,
we
right?
got no space. Look, shit, they can wrestle in front of my house. We got no space right here. Shit, my front yard is the damn size of a fucking Pro Wrestling Magic. Shit.
Because I was reading an article about Impact earlier today. Because it says Tessa Blanchard didn't travel to Impact tapings. World title would not appear at Rebellion.
Well, yeah.
So they still shoot pay-per-views live?
Yeah, they're still shooting pay-per-views.
Because I know...
well, obviously it's not a crowd, but they're shooting pay-per-views.
Because I know Ken Shamrock is still signed to get into TNA, and I follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and he's just been saying, "Have y'all been enjoying the show?" But he's been home all the time. They've been showing it live, so-called live on TV. So they already been taped his parts already and got it out the way.
Yeah,
because you already know he old as shit. So
I still wouldn't fuck with him in a fight.
I wouldn't fuck with him in a conversation. I wouldn't fuck with Ken
I wouldn't just fuck with him at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't go not 10 feet of Ken Shamrock.
Word.
His sister's hot though. I don't know if she still is, but
I'll see him at a table.
Hold on.
I don't know. I forgot what she looked like. So
she was dating another wrestler. I forgot who.
Her name is Alicia Webb.
It's still a lot of wrestlers that got let go that was good. Like, and the sad thing, most of them did live shows, so they didn't even do like regular TV show tapings no more. But the people that did like the club and EC3, Drake Maverick and them, like they never really got their full time and shot. But the funny thing is, Luke Gallows and Cardenas had just got a new contract not even like 5 months ago.
Yeah, that was like right before Christmas they re-signed a contract.
Well,
yeah.
The conversation I've been hearing is that Vince was hoarding wrestlers because of AEW's rise.
Yep.
And he was signing people for whatever reason, for just to not let them go to AEW.
And Triple H was signing people to NXT deals just so they couldn't go anywhere else.
Yep.
But see, the thing with Triple H is. But the thing with Triple H was smart about his. The Triple H people that wrestle NXT are not getting paid as high as the people on the main roster, so they wasn't losing that much money with the NXT wrestlers getting signed. But main roster dudes was getting paid like ridiculous amounts of money, wasn't even showing up on shows. Like No Way Jose. I think No Way Jose payout was like $70,000 a year, but the man was only seen on TV every like 2-3 months. Well, you got NXT guys wrestling all live shows all the time and showing up before tapings like constantly.
I don't know. It's such a weird world we live in right now.
All right, here's the list. Kurt Angle, Rusev. Kurt Angle as a producer, because that's what he was doing. Rusev, Drake Maverick, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Eric Young, EC3. Did you see EC3's new name? He's now going by Essential Character 3. That's what EC3 now stands for.
That's good.
Oh my God, I love EC3, bro.
Kurt Hawkins, Leo Rush, Heath Slater, Aiden English. He was listed as a commentator, not a wrestler. Referee Mike Chioda, Sarah Logan, Primo and Epico, Eric Rowan, Mike and Maria Kanellis, Zack Ryder, No Way Jose, and that's the end of the list.
Mind you, right? Zack Ryder.
That's the talent.
Look, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins had their little podcast talking about toys and stuff, but they had to figure it out one for WWE, but they did the same exact thing. And WWE was basically paying them for that and sending them out. So when like the Elite figures and all their wrestling toys came out, those are the guys they went to because they knew the most. So they sent them out always to do their shit. Now they let them go. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do because WWE don't even show up their own new toy products or toy line. Only them two dudes did all the time.
Right. Now to answer George F's question, he's saying, do they keep the money? I was listening to Wrestling Observer. They were explaining that the releases on the contract, you get a certain portion of the money of your pay for the next 90 days during your no compete clause. So you get like within that 90 days, whatever you're supposed to get paid, I think you get like 75% of your pay for that time. Basically, they're paying you to stay home.
And like I said, WWE is sitting on half of $3 billion for pay-per-views and live shows now. See how they can do live shows at the Performance Center in Florida now. See how they're essential.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Oh, you were also talking about like all the people in like production that got fired too, right?
Yeah, you have Billy Kidman, you have Lance Storm, you have Shane Hayes, aka the Hurricane, you have the IRS man, you have so many people that basically, you have so many people that basically been there forever and is gone.
Our friend Pat Buck.
Yeah, like this is fucking crazy. Like you had people, you had people there that were so loyal to Vince, they probably would have took a bullet for the motherfucker because he kept them working. And they was the first ones let go. Like I no offense, even though if they was probably getting paid more, I'd have probably kept the senior ones because they know how to run shit without doing anything. Because they've been in the business. I'd have got rid of most of the new niggas.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and then
you know what? You know what I really would have did? You know what I did? I'd have got rid of anybody that was making over $1 million that was hurting the company the most. And that's like Brock and them. I would let them just leave for a while and go do something else.
Yeah, facts.
But the payout on Brock's contract would be crazy, though.
It would be. But anyway, look at it, it's a lose situation. It's either you pay him out and let him leave, or you keep him there. He don't show up for shows, and you pay this nigga for not showing up.
It's lose
situation for them.
It is lose. So what are you gonna do?
Like Roman Reigns not gonna be there for a while because now his wife is pregnant with twins, and he at high risk. What is he gonna do? He ain't training. He ain't doing shit. He at the house chilling. Just get him a payout and let him leave. But I really hope WWE is doing this shit the right way. I feel like they should let them guys go just for the time being for the situation, and then when shit get better, they hire them. They hire just about everybody they need back that they want back.
Now I did see that the people that are on the production side, like the producers and people that did like technical work and editors and shit like that, they're still covering their medical for a certain period of time as a part of their unemployment, and they have an opportunity to come back, given that if and when WWE can return to normal business and travel and have somewhat of a normal show.
Because like there's so many wrestlers so hurt over this shit. Like I know Braun Strowman was hurt the most because EC3 and Drake Maverick was his boys, and they both got let go.
Yeah, those were his butt buddies.
They got let go, so now he hurt.
They like to grease each other up and go swimming.
Grease each other up, wear small speedos, and shoot big guns.
Yeah,
the American dream.
George Jeff says we're gonna get a lot of podcasts after this, and yeah, I agree.
I'm not gonna lie. I want every last one of them to show up on Jericho podcast.
Yo, then they're not going back if they go to Jericho's podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be right.
They would have to do like Booker T's podcast.
But it's weird because Booker T podcast, he don't really bring other wrestlers up there. He'll talk about situation, but he won't bring them.
That's the one thing. I wish he had more guests.
Like, his podcast not even that long, I don't think. Because, like, even when I see little snippets on YouTube, they be even more shorter than fucking regular snippets of podcasts. Like, he'll talk about a whole situation in, like, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's Booker, bro. He's the best, man.
damn, how long is your podcast? 45 minutes? 30 minutes? What the fuck?
Yeah.
You gotta love him.
Now, go ahead.
I'm about to say, now that these people are released, there's still certain eyes on certain people. Because I know as soon as Zack Ryder name came up, Cody Rhodes posted a picture of him winning WrestleMania, the IC title. Because Cody even said if AEW opened, there's only a few people in WWE that he would bring, and Zack Ryder was like the main first one he wanted to bring over there. Because he said that dude is like a great talent that's been overlooked for so long. He would bring him over, but I don't think Zack would go because he's such a WWE guy.
Now I see Rusev going over there and shitting on WWE.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I see. First of all, he'd be worse than Brody Lee right now. He'd be talking so much shit.
Yeah, because he already talks shit as it is under contract.
Word, he talks shit under contract, on TV, on Instagram Live, Twitter. You get that man the opportunity to go over there and say what the fuck he really want to say. Oh my God, WWE gonna be like, yeah, you go ahead and fire Lana too, because that bitch was married to him at one point.
I remember one episode of Up Up Down Down. I think it was like the FIFA tournament or something. And
I knew you were talking about.
And I don't remember the situation. Oh. He wanted to change his because he got made it to the finals of the tournament or whatever, and he wanted to change his nickname on the show because everybody has a nickname. And he says, "I'm Roman Reigns," because he was like, "I win for no reason at all."
Holy shit!
Yo, he was shitting on Roman during that shit.
That's awesome.
Oh, matter of fact, when he said that, Roman was on the sideline. Roman was like, "Hey, bro, I can't help what they do behind the scenes and make me do." I was like, "Oh my God, these two are fucking going to get fired."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like you said, we're in the darkest time of wrestling ever. All indie shows canceled. Those wrestlers are not getting paid. Those shows are not making money. Now the only two main companies you got is AEW and fucking WWE still doing shows on TV. And AEW roster already not that big. But damn, WWE got rid of so many people. Shit, that's damn near almost like a regular TV roster for AEW at this point.
And as I was saying, Impact is attempting to do something. So we'll still have
Impact been hiring
going.
a lot of fucking indie dudes for they've been hiring them for smaller contracts, but they've been paying them more than what they were ever making the indies over the years.
Right. Now, the other thing with WWE, NXT UK, they've run out of taped material. So NXT UK is shut down for the time being. That's why Finn Balor did what he did this week on NXT. He came up and confronted Velveteen.
Oh, that, and also that Matt Riddle tag team partner was a dude that was from the UK, but he lives over here. He been moved over here, but he was wrestling in the UK, so he can wrestle in place of Pete Dunne because he actually lives here in the States.
Yeah.
Answering George Jeff, hell yeah, Trump's gonna help out with the wrestling with WWE. They could definitely bail out, but they're not going nowhere. Wrestling's not going nowhere. But if they were, Trump would help out.
Of course, because Vince is his boy.
Trump gonna help them for one reason or the only. Linda McMahon and Vince paid out the most money for his campaign when he was running for president.
Hell yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Hell yeah.
So he technically owed him.
They play golf together probably.
Because Donald Trump had a meeting with Vince, the head of the NBA, the head of the NFL, what do you call it from USC, Dana White. He had a meeting with all of them about sports. And I know Dana White was one of the first people that said that Trump said that he's hoping that we get better and get back into play of having crowds by like September, October. That's the estimated date that Trump gave them, but that's still not for sure. So
Dana White is still trying to have a show next month. Dana White doesn't give a fuck.
Dana White.
Now there was supposed to be a show this Saturday. That's the one where he found some like island to like ship all the fighters to.
Yeah.
That got shut down by Disney because Disney owns ESPN and ESPN was hosting the show on their app ESPN Plus.
Damn.
So He's trying to get a show somewhere in like the middle of like May. Dana White does not care. He wants fights to happen.
Yeah, man. Yo, this is just so crazy. It's stranger than fiction what we're going through right now. It's so crazy.
Like, I gotta say where Dana White's coming from, because you gotta think about it. WWE wrestlers, NBA, NFL, they play for so many games throughout the year, and then they got their little break. WWE don't have no real break between their wrestling.
There is no
UFC fighters fight. Yeah, like UFC fighters fight one fight.
Like every 3 months.
They won't fight again for they won't fight again for 3 months, depending if it's like a big fight, it'll be 3 months. If it's a fight that's like nobody really gives a shit, it'd be like 6 months. So they have a big ass break between their fights to like.
Yeah, but it also takes you like 2 to 3 months to train for a fight. So it's not like they're just sitting at home for that whole time.
Bro, why don't they see the potential in just like having and I know the NBA is thinking about this, and I think NASCAR already did it with having the video games AI.
Okay. There was an NBA 2K tournament, but it was only 2 weeks long. So it's over already.
They should have kept it going.
And then what the NBA did next was they had a horse tournament. You know, they just picked like some random like players. They got like 2 retired players and like two women from the WNBA, and like everybody just got on FaceTime, and like you would watch the other person do a move, and then you had to copy it. So they had a horse tournament.
Bro, no.
I know.
UFC could do the game.
I know. Last thing I saw ESPN was something weird.
That would work.
Look. ESPN had 2 players from 2 teams. I think one was from the Blazers and one was from the Wizards, and they had them play NBA 2K19 live on ESPN TV, and like they was playing a real game, because that was a game that was supposed to happen around that time. Yeah. And they had them played on 2K19 to see who would win. I said, shit, you gonna do like that? You might well do the whole NBA like that until we get to the finals. Hold on, that shit.
That's why I thought it was stupid to have a tournament. Just have random people play, and we watch the whole game.
Bro, I would watch the AI play. I would watch the computer play. I swear to God, I would. I'm not even lying. If it's the NBA and it's just based off the team stats and AI, I would watch it.
There was a Madden tournament a couple weeks ago, so the NFL got in on it. Oh, speaking of which, Michael Vick got smoked. Michael Vick made it to the finals. He played somebody from the Chargers. I forgot who it was. It was somebody on their defense. And Michael Vick lost, I believe it was like 78-16.
Damn.
Yeah, Michael Vick got toasted.
Yo, I don't want to make a joke right now, but he probably beat some dogs after.
No, you gonna make a joke?
Damn,
I'll tell you right
joke.
now.
I made a
you can make a joke on Michael Vick because at the end of the day, it's still gonna be fuck Carol Baskin.
Damn, yo, I made an Alex joke right there.
Jay-Z once said, "I'm killing the roof like Michael Vick."
I'm gonna tell you right now. Up, down to the episode where Kofi Kingston, Big E, and somebody else was up there, and they was watching the AI play in 2K19, and it was Big E versus Goldberg, and Big E character got scared.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Big E said, "You bring me all the way on here. Get comfortable, set shit up the right height to see me lose to Goldberg." Man, I'm about to go, man. This is bullshit. I was like, yo, I will watch that more than watching live wrestling right now.
I'd gamble on that.
You know, that was some bullshit that was like WWE mandated. That wasn't even like an Xavier Woods idea. They was like, okay, we're gonna have some like fantasy 2K matches, and we're gonna put it on your channel. That's basically what happened. And Big E versus Goldberg is not a fantasy match. Who the hell came up with that?
It definitely not.
I'm saying right now, if they had WWE wrestlers sit down on like a live with the people they're supposed to face, like a fantasy match. Like if you like, I want to see Gargano versus Shawn Michaels, you have Gargano and Shawn Michaels on face like a live chat, watching their characters go at it and basically talking shit about what they would do and wouldn't do. I'd be more entertained watching that than watching wrestling.
I would love that.
I would prefer Adam Cole and Shawn Michaels, but you know.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Hey, look. Adam Cole want to fight Shawn Michaels. Gargano want to fight Shawn Michaels. Velveteen Dream want to fight Shawn Michaels. You can make it a fatal 4-way for all I give a shit.
I'd also take AJ Shawn Michaels, but that's another story.
Yo, I'd place bets on that kind of stuff. I would love to do that and have like a gambling ring of just, what computer you think is gonna win. I would love that.
I'm telling you right now, like as times go on and it start to get worse and worse, man, motherfuckers need to come up with ideas and just start doing extra shit right now, because this shit right here ain't gonna get no better anytime soon. As right now, the way this shit is going in the United States, it's gonna get worse, and more people end up losing their jobs. I feel like there's gonna be more wrestlers in the next coming month or so that's going to end up being let go.
Dang, you think more? You think there's going to be more?
Like, as I was saying, NXT UK is shut down because in UK you can't do any type of entertainment filming or sports.
Damn.
WWE, they are a sport that doesn't want to be a sport, classify themselves as entertainment. You can't film either in the UK right now. So what are they doing with all this NXT
that's money
UK
being
people?
lost right now. That's a good amount of cash that Vince is losing right now. That if it goes too long, Vince will let that shit go immediately.
Yep.
I don't know. They got to get creative, man. Like, even horse racing. You have no effect on the outcome of those races.
Oh.
And that's what video game AI fights would be like. You just place a bet on a horse.
Okay. You just mentioned horse racing. I forgot what state it is. I saw on ESPN this morning. It's like Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, something like that. In that particular state, horse racing is not classified as a sport. It's classified as farming and agriculture.
What the hell?
So they're still having horse races, and you can bet on them online.
Yeah, that makes no. How is that agriculture?
Because the animals involved. So they the greyhounds at that track can run too.
They better let me have chicken fights in my backyard then and tape it.
Shit, I can tell you right now. And then that shit that mean Michael Vick can have dog fights and tape it.
Oh man, back to Michael Vick.
Word.
Hey man, you talking about animals being essential shit? That could be a thing.
That's crazy. Didn't a tiger get the COVID?
Fucking Carol Baskins.
Yeah, in New York.
That's crazy.
Like,
yo, I saw the face mask for dogs.
Yo, it's getting getting so weird with watching TV now that I'm like, yeah, it's a good thing I don't even have cable no more, because there's nothing on TV to watch at this point.
Nah, Netflix is where it's at right now.
Netflix is raking it in.
Yeah,
Netflix about to drop episode 8 of fucking Tiger King.
Yeah,
oh Jesus.
Yeah, they added an 8th episode. I feel like Trump called Netflix and was like, "Yo, we need people indoors. Drop the bombs.
We need rednecks gay rednecks with cocaine and
tigers. Yeah,
and tigers, and we need a couple of scenes with some guns at least getting shot somewhere or something on fire.
Facts,
and
bro.
You should be safe.
Yo, boom, and then Netflix is all right. We're pressing the button, and boom, Tiger King dropped.
We've been sitting on this for a couple of months, but we're gonna. I guess we can roll this out. We didn't know what we were gonna do there anyway.
We were waiting for Disney Plus to unleash the Marvel shows, but I guess we do it now.
Mandalorian season 2.
Facts, bro. But it's wild.
But so now, what are we gonna do about wrestling? Because now this wrestling's kind of getting bland at this point. Even with no crowd, they're still getting like bland as hell.
Well, NXT beat AEW for the second week in a row.
Yeah, that's like, COVID-19. That's the reason why they're winning.
Eesh.
Oh, I finally caught up on Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, nice. About time.
Well, I didn't see this week's episode, which was what, Jimmy Snuka?
Yeah.
And I didn't see Benoit Part 2, but I know most of Benoit's story, so it's not that much of a loss.
Damn, so you
I got a picture to send you, Marv. You're going to love it.
What's up?
I followed Dark Side Behind the Ring, and then I followed one of the guys that helped create the show.
Uh-huh.
And I was scrolling through his timeline on Twitter, and he has a picture of, they're talking about the Brawl for All. So he's talking like he got a picture with Butterbean. He got a picture with what do you call it? What's his name? They got knocked out by Butterbean. Bart Gunn. But he has a picture of the Godfather sitting at his table, pouring Jack into 6 shot glasses.
Damn. That's epic.
And I said, "Oh my God, this is Mark background screen for life right here."
Send me that, bro. Send me that. Yo, I love Godfather.
Speaking of the
now.
Brawl for All, who was it that was talking? Jim Cornette. He was talking about how it actually originated on his podcast. So, because he wasn't allowed to speak about it before the episode come out.
Yeah.
Vince Russo didn't come up with the Brawl for All.
Oh, he lied?
Yeah, of course Vince Russo fucking lied. Well, he kept saying that it was about
Bradshaw.
It was about Bradshaw. Now, that's what the boys do in the locker room. Oh, nobody can fuck me up. I'll whoop everybody's ass in here. Now, Vince Russo, who's a fucking outsider, knows, even though he was in the wrestling business, writing wrestling, he'd never been in a locker room. So he hears the guys, just bullshitting and thinks they're serious.
Yeah, this would be the origin of it. This would be
Just think of Vince Russo, I swear.
Vince Russo thought it was real. Thought Bradshaw needs his ass whooped. Let's have this whole thing.
Oh, man.
No, it was good for the time. Yeah. Now that you know the dark side part of it, you're like, damn, nigga, that shit was fucked up. Of an affair.
Was there anything good that Vince Russo did that you think he deserves credit for?
Writing for the wrestling magazines back then?
Yeah. Because the more we go forward in history now, and the more people that speak out against Vince Russo, he was just a fucking mark that got in with the right people, and he fucked the wrestling industry up.
Bro, I heard that he might have created the New Age Outlaws, though, which would be a good thing on his part.
Okay, yeah.
But other than that, I've never heard anything else good come out of him.
I can kind of see him creating the New Age Outlaws as a team, and then they let it run forward because they was kind of based off of like the here and now at that point of their life. Like why everything else in that two era was like basically just trying to copy what was happening around them.
Yeah,
New Age Outlaws seemed like something that was like, hey, look, you got motherfuckers around here walking around with braids. You got niggas around here telling you to kiss their ass and do whatever the fuck they wanted. Why not make a tag team doing what niggas are doing for real, for real?
Well, they were cowboys and a country singer before they got teamed up.
Yeah.
So I know. And then they had to move to the times of rock, grunge, and rap. So,
exactly.
Why not?
Now, during that episode on the Brawl for All, Vince Russo talked about how him and his sidekick, Ed Ferrara, he didn't mention him by name, but his sidekick, Ed Ferrara, they would sit in the writer's room and watch Jerry Springer and try to turn Jerry Springer into wrestling.
Yep. That's what he said.
That was the downfall right there.
Yeah.
It was downfall, but at the same time, Jerry Springer was the hottest thing on television
but
next to wrestling.
Think about it like this. When Jerry Springer was really good, Jerry Springer was real. It was a quote-unquote, it was a shoot. What is the best wrestling? When it looks like a shoot. It got to the point over time in the late 90s, early 2000s where Jerry Springer, it became a work. They basically set these situations up.
They did.
They took people's situations and just blew it out of proportion to make it basically was wrestling. It was a work.
Yeah, because there's some people that have been on Jerry Springer that I follow now are like either actors, they've been in wrestling, or shit, some of them been porn stars. Like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Jerry Springer started being fake, and
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's some good to Jerry Springer.
It's staged. It became staged. Wrestling is staged.
What's the what's his name to do the announcement for AEW that he's not there right now? So they have
shit. What is his name?
Jake Roberts.
Yeah, Jake Roberts. No, not Jake Roberts. That's Jake the Snake. Josh Roberts.
It's something.
Josh Roberts.
If you go on his Twitter, look at his Twitter page, he has a compilation of all the stuff he's been in. He was on the episode of Jerry Springer.
Not surprised.
Damn.
I was like, I said, damn, Jerry Springer was Rihanna work. Jerry Springer was WWE, was just not paying niggas.
Oh, another thing, speaking of Jerry Springer, what was it, like 94, 95? Jim Cornette almost went on Jerry Springer.
Oh, God. Thank God he didn't.
Vince McMahon stopped him, even though he wasn't working for WWE at the time. Excuse me, WWF.
Yeah, that would have ruined his whole argument about the whole Jerry Springer thing.
Yeah, good thing he didn't. Yeah.
But then WWE brought Jerry Springer on their TV like twice. So
yeah, they did. But I mean, you could blame Russo for that one too, though. He was around for that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
but Jerry Springer was like. Jerry Springer was the WCW to Oprah being WWF, and Oprah got Jerry Springer damn near almost shut down. So he had to change his shit.
Yeah, facts, bro. But I think there's some benefits of having one guy like Jim Cornette, who's super by the book, traditional and conservative, to having another guy who's like a wild card that kind of thinks outside the box and does random shit. And having them be together.
It makes good for good television. It makes good for television because you have a guy that's outside the box that's going to give you some crazy shit as something he think will be cool. And then you being a wrestling, archivist, you try to turn that into a wrestling, and you just try to make it work.
Yeah, exactly. So I think them together, there might have been some benefits to it back then, but I could also see
they
that
hate each other.
I could also, yeah, they're supposed to though. That's how balance works. Like it's yin and yang. But at the same time, when Vince Russo went over to WCW like unopposed, that's when like you can see the flaws in like not having that gym traditionalists around you to stop you from going crazy.
Yeah, there's a balance in the middle somewhere, right?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh, the on the Chris Benoit episodes, one of the big pieces that was missing was Kevin Sullivan.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because he didn't want to do it.
Now, here's the thing. He went on Jim Cornette's podcast. He told the whole story from his perspective.
I know, but he wouldn't do it for Dark Side of the Ring. That was fucking weird. Like, they called him up and they asked him, and he just said he had no comment on the shit.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, that makes sense, because he's not going to, wherever he say, they can edit and cut out what the hell they need out of it. So it made more sense for him not to be up there.
I see what you mean. You think they could play it to their own favor.
Yeah.
I see that. They also left out the Wikipedia thing, which is like the most mysterious part of it. The fact that the killing was on Wikipedia before they even announced like that it really was a murder. It's murder-suicide.
Yeah.
So that part's crazy.
Because, like, the guys that shoot that shit is just, like, they're big wrestling fans also that just basically work for Vice, and Vice gave them opportunity to do something different. So they went to what they know. They went to wrestling. Great. And see how they've been around for so long and talk and met some of these people, they're able to get into their homes and actually try to get the side of stories and shit they need. But they're never going to get the full 100% of what they actually need. They're just getting what they can from who they can
and what
to
they
just
can
basically make a show.
What they can fit into a TV block, because it's on regular TV, regular cable, right?
Yeah, and because it's a TV show, they still have to like tell some sort of narrative.
Yeah.
Within the, it's not a documentary.
Yeah.
They're still telling you a story.
Yeah.
Now
you can see that.
Now this was like a web series, and they had their own website. Then it'd be a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
In the snooker store, you saw the snooker one already, Alex?
I watched part of it. I didn't finish it because my wife had to. My wife went to bed early, and I was like, I ain't gonna finish it. Me and her not gonna watch it because I got her into watching them. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna watch them all. So that was the last one. We got probably 20 minutes into it, and then she was like, she had to go to bed because she was getting a headache. So I was like, cool. I'll pause it and we'll go back and finish it.
I watched the whole thing, and they have I think is it Jimmy Fatu or something like that.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, one of the Rock's so-called Rikishi and family members. They look just like Umaga.
Yeah, he did. He looked just like him exactly.
They all look
the
same, but yeah.
But he was saying he was saying that he was in the back of the car. And then he didn't see this lady trip and hit her head, and that's how Snuka said she died, because she had a head injury. But then at the same time, he's claiming that Snuka still didn't kill her, though. Like, I don't know, maybe you guys will understand it better when you see it.
That's a 50-50 right there.
Yeah, because Snuka never told nobody there was somebody else in the car when she tripped and fell. Because apparently she went to the bathroom, she came out, and she tripped and fell and banged her head on the cement. And he just carried her to sleep. And then, that's the story, whatever. I mean, people didn't believe it even back then. But he never said there was another guy in the car. And then this guy, Fatu, was like, yeah, I was in the car. And they were like, did you see her trip and fall? And he was like, no, I never saw her even leave the car. We didn't even stop nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then, but he also still doesn't think that Snuka killed her. You think that I think this guy forgot if he killed her or not. They were just saying that he did so much cocaine and he did so many head injuries that he don't even remember. He can't even be in court and like defend himself because he doesn't even know.
To really be honest, they had enough people up there that could have told the story. But I think the only two people that they could have had up there that could have told more better part of the story is either his son or Tamina.
Well, the mysterious part of the episode,
like they grew up with him, and Tamina still has her doubts about the whole situation, and so does his son. So like you have two of his kids that can actually tell you if they really think he did it or not. But
I don't know.
Everybody else is like, they was here, they was there, they was around at certain times, but they like have their 50-50. But you got two of his kids that can tell you they feel like, yeah, my dad probably really killed her. Like, what can you do at this point? He's dead at this point. You really can't do nothing about
They're
it.
They're both dead. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But they were saying Vince went into a meeting with the authorities of that town or whatever in Pennsylvania where they used to film. and that nobody knows what went down in that meeting. But that Vince came out, he like put his hand on Snooker's shoulder and was like, "You're good. Don't worry about it. Go back to work or whatever."
That's what Vince does.
Bruh.
Yeah, man.
Vince went in there and said, "Look, I got a check and I got 6 zeros. What number you want in front of that?"
Yeah.
Vince is also good at the Jedi mind trick.
Well, apparently they used to film in the early 80s. Apparently they only used to film in that one place in Pennsylvania before they started touring.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that they were a big attraction to that city. And maybe he told them, like, "Yo, look, you arrest my most popular wrestler. We're not going to be able to film this town no more."
I feel like Vince went in there and talked to them and then called like the mayor or the governor of that whole state and was like, "Look, what do you need for this state to go right? I can just write you a check for that and we can just pretend like this didn't happen."
Yeah, facts, man. Facts.
Oh, speaking of Vince McMahon and the Jedi mind trick, going back to the releases this week, the conference call that he made to everybody prior to telling them that they're fired. He said something. He was trying to, he was explaining, just basically how the world is right now and, how big business works and you have to let people go. If you read the transcripts, twice he called them employees. They're not employees.
Yeah, the independent contractor.
Exactly.
Oh, dang, so he messed up.
He messed up.
That's his whole thing about not having them unionized and stuff, right?
Exactly. He called them employees. If the transcript is real, that's on the internet. If it's real, he called them employees twice.
Yo, I think the game's gonna change after this, bro. I think it really is gonna lead to like way more unionized stuff.
I'm still waiting for the AEW union that hasn't happened yet.
Oh wow.
I mean, they have more benefits than WWE independent contractors, but they still don't have a union.
Well, I don't know, man, but definitely. I really feel like they might benefit from the attention of Dark Side of the Ring and the COVID situation.
Yeah.
And not having an audience, firing people. There's so much publicity on them right now. Vince might be able to swing this into a huge thing when they finally are able to have an audience.
Well, I have an argument against Vince right now. By him calling them employees twice, if we can get some sort of authentication of this transcript, all the people that were fired can go claim unemployment, because if they're an employee, they can now get unemployment.
Oh yeah, he's fucked now.
Yeah,
he's fucked.
You just have to prove that transcript is real.
Damn.
And that's gonna be the second part, because there's some people that work behind the scenes that do tell and give away the information for the right price.
Yep.
Yeah, every business has insider.
Everybody that talks to Uncle Dave.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. So time will tell before we realize that Drake Maverick and them going to be like, "Well, I was fired, and now apparently I'm hired back, but I'm sitting at home not getting paid and just waiting to get called back now."
Mm-hmm.
I still think they could swing this somehow. There's so much eyes on wrestling right now. People are telling me they're more into wrestling now than they were when there was actually audience and shit like that because of the publicity.
Dude, it got crazy because even people I know don't watch wrestling at my job was telling me this. "Hey, bro, I heard like a whole bunch of wrestlers got fired. Like,
yeah.
How many people got fired?" I'm like, "Nigga, you don't even watch wrestling. Why the fuck are you asking me a question about something you don't even watch?"
I think there's gonna be a pop when things get back to normal. I think there's gonna be a little pop that they got to take advantage of. It's too much publicity. Dark Side of the Ring, firing the wrestlers, the whole COVID, no audience. Like, it's wild, bro. Like, I really think they could turn this into something.
I think I feel like this, and I don't give a fuck if this should happen in the future or Vince do it for real. But I feel like everybody that Vince fired for the time being, I feel like he probably called on one by one and was like, "Look, when the shit blow over and we can bring you back with the crowds, we feel like we can probably make more money off you then just by coming back."
Yeah. Have them come back and do a heel gimmick where they're disgruntled employees, or well, don't call them that, but
you know what
independent contractors.
You know where the biggest money draw is when all this is over? Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will be more babyface than ever if they do it right.
Let's see.
Because he now has a sympathy story, because we know about his leukemia situation now. We know that he had to, step away from WrestleMania. He had to step away from his title match because of his illness. Even though this company didn't want to acknowledge it, but we know that. So if they do it right, position it correctly, when he comes back, you have the biggest babyface story ever for Roman Reigns. And get sympathy for him. Get the crowd behind him. He can be the money draw, and the crowd can like him at the same time. It will be the best thing if they do it right. But they won't.
Who knows, man?
They won't.
Who knows? I think Vince works better when he's the underdog. Like when WCW was beating him in the numbers back in like the late 90s or whatever, I feel like he had to come out of his comfort zone and do new things. And I feel like this might drive that again. Like it might reignite him, like to do something new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not true. Because back then he was doing more behind the scenes work. But once WCW was trying to come up and they was taking all his big wrestlers, he put himself outside in the middle of the ring a lot more.
Word.
Like this nigga.
Yeah, that was a Vince right there. Yo, you got Vince at your house, bro? What's going on?
No, that was New Jack.
Yo, even worse. Bro, I'm telling you.
Oh, wait. The New Jack. Who was that little midget dude with the fucked up facial?
Oh, my God. That was
I forgot his name. What you call it for the
transit?
The Twin Towers?
Yeah, the Twin Towers. He was working with the mass transit guy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, and he vouched for him. He's like, yeah, he can wrestle. Yo. Yeah, he was funny. Yo, but he actually got a job in the WWE afterwards.
I know.
He got a job in the WWE and he got put on Jerry Springer.
Word.
All for that bullshit.
Yeah, because New Jack hooked him up. He was like, yo, testify for me and I'm going to hook you up.
Yep.
Yeah, he said, I'm hook you. He said, I'm hook you up and I promise you'll get in WWE. He said, I don't know what the fuck he did, but then I got a call from WWE. I was like, first of all, what did New Jack do to get that call for him?
Yeah, word. I don't know.
New Jack probably put in a body for somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Word.
Bro.
He probably called Vince and was like, hey, bro, I know there's some people out there you don't like. You tell me who they are. I'll go fuck them up. But you got to put my little man on real quick.
Or you imagine if New Jack's like the undercover, like backstage hitman and stuff?
Oh, my God. Can you imagine?
Oh, my God. When he told his story about throwing the dude off the scaffold.
Yeah. What did I tell you, dog?
Hey, I came from my legs. Hey, you ain't going to need them.
Yo, New Jack is wild, bro. That dude is wild, man.
And then he was telling a story about his dad abusing his mom, and she shot him in the leg.
Yep.
I was like, what?
Yo.
That nigga said, you want to know why I act crazy? He said, because I come from a fucked up, retarded family. That's why. I said, you know what? I can't be mad at him no more now.
Yeah, you can't.
His family was batshit crazy. So, yeah, that would put a psyche on somebody.
His dad shot his mom in the leg for no reason.
Bro, he said his mom called him and said, you're hurting people on TV. He said, shut the fuck up, old lady. You never called me. What are you calling me for? Yo, he was
you ain't talked to me in years. You're going to call me about this shit now. What the hell do I care? I was like, damn, son.
He was wild, bro. Yeah. He was wild, bro.
Right. No, D'Lo Brown in that whole episode is what made me want to watch that again.
D'Lo Brown is just like so normal and down to earth, yet he's telling these fucked up stories.
Yeah, bro. I didn't know D'Lo Brown was so articulate like that. Like he was really like well spoken and he sounds so professional.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
When they asked D'Lo Brown about old boys smoking the pill savings, he was like, "I plead the fifth." I was like, "Oh my God, D'Lo." Yeah.
I had to correct some people. They were like, "Yo, New Jack was smoking Penta shaving."
That was the other dude.
No. I was like, no.
That was the big nigga.
If you weren't paying attention, you probably could make that mistake. But no, it wasn't New Jack.
That was the big nigga that was smoking crazy.
As crazy as New Jack
told everybody what he did. New Jack said, "I'm in the bag doing cocaine." He kept saying it over and over. You knew what he was doing. And then he said, this motherfucker going to shave up some pill shavings and some shit he found in the back. Told us, hey, bro, hit this. This is new shit. Nigga, what?
And then he thought the cops were raping him.
A man doing cocaine is telling you what?
He was like, yo, they're trying to rape me. Every time
New Jack would start a new story. Every time New Jack started a new story. Yeah, so I was doing some cocaine, right?
Yep. And then
I need to hear a story with just him and the Godfather sit down and talk about all this shit they did when they was on cocaine.
Word. I don't think Godfather didn't do coke though. He was just smoking.
He said he was doing coke before one of the brawl for all matches.
Oh, for real? Damn. Damn.
I would love to hear their stories because I feel like that would be like the most blackest like cookout story ever.
Nah,
you would hear so much crazy shit. You'd be like, bro, I don't believe these two motherfuckers lived this long with this shit they did.
I don't think New Jack, because Godfather seems too chill. New Jack's so intense. Godfather
Only reason Godfather's so chill because he has a wife and he has kids. New Jack doesn't have that. It's just New Jack by himself.
I'm happy he never convinced nobody to marry him. I'm happy.
I'm happy he convinced nobody to have a child with him.
Word. He spared somebody. He spared them. Because holy shit, bro.
When
George Jeff just said, I want to hear from their dealers.
Word, bro. Oh, my God, bro. Bro, when he started stabbing the guy... When he did that stabbing thing, because he said he had a Wolverine claw and he broke one of the claws off, and it was a real claw, and he had it in his pocket. I don't know if he intended to use it in the match, but when they showed the video footage of him doing it,
oh yeah,
but yo, my jaw dropped. I was like, I never seen nothing like that in wrestling. Never. Holy crap.
I like Jim Cornette. Watching the video. He goes, what's that, a crowd of like 13 people? He's like, how the fuck they that damn hall?
Yo, Jim Cornette. Does Jim Cornette go to indie shows?
No.
No wonder. No wonder.
No. Jim Cornette doesn't go to any show, but Jim Cornette knows every indie show, knows everybody that owns them, and he basically talks to them. So for him not to go, he still has his ear in all them shits. Yeah. That's why he can talk about so many indie wrestlers. Like he been like he know them personally, but he been keeping track of them like all the time. Like Jim Cornette and Paul Heyman are the only two guys I know that knows indie wrestlers and within every promotion, and they keep their eye on certain people. Jim Cornette is just, like you said, he's a historian. He's got to keep track of wrestling.
He's been everywhere and done everything, and he's had so many relationships with people that go and do other things. So
he was gunning that crowd, though. He was
yeah, he was.
he gunned that crowd, and then he said, you just stabbing him? Oh shit, he's stabbing him. He looked more excited than the fucking New Jack was.
Oh,
he was finding it funny. He was laughing at it.
And the fact that guy got him out of jail to do
and to think Jim Cornette introduced us to New Jack.
Yeah.
Yo, what makes it whole funny about whole New Jack thing is when he stabbed homeboy and he went to jail. The dude came there and said, look, I dropped the charges, but we could take this on the road as a thing, like a redemption story of revenge. Yep. He goes, get me out of jail. He said, after that week, I packed all my shit up
there. I
didn't
talk to that nigga again. He did not talk to him again.
Yo, that shit is so...
New Jack was the smartest motherfucker on the planet. He got that nigga that dropped them charges, and that nigga did set. He was like, nah, you fuck out of here.
Bro, that's why I love this Dark Side of the Ring shit, because it's stranger than fiction. Like,
yeah.
You can't make this shit up, bro. The taser,
oh man,
the fact that all that shit is recorded, like it's not like Owen Hart where there's no footage. It's not like
there's footage. They just won't want you to see it.
Oh yeah, they don't want you to see it, of course. But the fact that
who watches Dark Side of the Ring that you would not think who watched it, and they hit him up on Twitter in a Q&A, he answered them, is The Rock.
The Rock was watching it? What'd he say?
The Rock watches every episode, and Dark Side of the Ring asked him how he would have fared in the Brawl for All. And he started talking on the street. He was like, look, I am emotional to every episode because I grew up in wrestling. I grew around most of these people. I met him as a child. I knew someone as an adult. He said, I'll tell you right now, if y'all not watching this show, this is like the best thing that tells you what no other wrestling company is ever going to tell you. The Rock basically promoted them to basically tell people to watch him. And he said, if I was at a Brawl Hall, I'd introduce them niggas to the Sledge and Hammer. He said, but I probably would have got knocked the fuck out by Godfather.
Yeah,
so it would have been a situation.
The Rock would have been knocked out. I can't picture Rock fighting.
You know what's fun? Well, something I mentioned I threw in the description of this episode. You would never get these stories in modern wrestling. I don't think there's anything dark enough that's happening now.
You're right.
Nothing.
You're right.
There's nothing happening because everybody's either too straight and narrow or they're too scared to lose their job after they finally made it to making real money now. It's like nothing. But back then, there was no real territory. So niggas were doing what the fuck they wanted just to make their money and make ends meet. And they were doing drugs to just make themselves keep going every night.
That's all I was going to say. I was going to end that sentence with just the drug epidemic.
Yeah, wrestling needs more steroids and cocaine.
Yeah, that was it. The fact that all these drugs are gone.
More head injuries.
More head injuries. The fact that all these drugs are gone and make wrestling boring. Yo, I think we figured out why wrestling is on a decline.
Yeah.
It was just drugs.
You get some people here and there, like Kevin Owens and them, that don't do drugs, but they put in the mind of the old school wrestlers, like these motherfuckers that do some shit and hurt themselves. Mm-hmm. You like, nah, he got to be on some coke or something, because there's no way in hell I'd do that shit without no drug inside of me. Yo, that shit a fuck no.
Name an 80s wrestler and I'll show you somebody that does coke.
Or steroids.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Purchases hookers on a daily.
Word.
everybody before the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot which podcast I was listening to. But they were talking about the death of the Louisiana wrestling territory in the late 80s, and I forgot who owned the territory. Anyway, he was saying the guy that owned the territory always based his projections on the escort services in that area.
Oh wow.
There came a point
that makes sense.
There came a point where all but like 2 escort services in like the Louisiana closed down and moved, and he was like, "Yeah, we're doomed." Because if the escorts are gone, that means there's no money. Nobody's spending money. If nobody's buying pussy, then why are they going to spend money to come watch the show? Well, they're not spending money on drugs. What are the boys going to do? What are the boys going to do after the show? There's no drugs. There's no pussy. There's nothing to do.
You know, he's a
that
genius.
Makes so much sense.
No, real talk. He's an actual genius.
I gotta go back and find that information.
That's what sports predictors, those betting guys. That's what they look at when they look at predictions and make their bets. They look at is this guy doing drugs?
They look at what's around the city. Like they look at what's around the city. What can that player get from it if they win that game? What is that player going to do if they lose that game? What can he do before the game gets started? Like, how much is he worth? And then they bet their money on, okay, if this guy likes doing drugs and he's like going party and they're in a city where it's just party and drugs, then he's going to want to win. He's going to want to celebrate. He's going to want to go big. So I'm going to bet my money on his team. And 9 out of 10, they win. And he's fucking right. And what the first thing they get caught doing by TMZ or somebody? Oh, yeah, he got caught with some drugs in his car with some random hookers.
Facts, bro.
Yep.
Facts.
It's damn near on point. Like, these motherfuckers are actually doing... You know what? I might start getting into betting now. When this shit get balled out, I might start going into betting.
Bro, it's the truth. It's the truth. That guy's actual genius. He's a genius for saying that. It's the actual truth.
So, did you see the trailer for the next Dark Side of the Ring?
Nah, I can't catch the trailers. They always cut it off.
The next episode...
On YouTube. What is it?
The next episode is Dino Bravo. How he got found in his house, shot 11 times in the chest and 7 times in the head.
Oh, damn. No, I don't even know this guy.
Dude, nobody knows how he got killed. Like, they just happen to know that he had 11 bullets in the chest, 7 in the head. Nobody know who killed him. They never found the killer. He was just dead in his crib.
That's not the one from Puerto Rico, right?
It's almost like Rico, but the only thing about Rico is like people seen him when he went home about his shit.
Gino.
That was season 1. That was season 1.
Like, everybody knows about Gino. People that live by Gino knew about Gino going home and being in the house that day. They don't know what happened. But this nigga went from wrestling to like he took off for a while and then nobody seen him, so they didn't know he was wrestling. And then when they went to go check on him, like they did Chris Benoit, he had 11 bullets in his chest and 7 to the head. They don't know what the fuck happened. Like, nobody knows his dark side of his story. Like, nobody knows that he was doing drugs, if he was taking money from people. Nobody knows. So he just one of the wrestlers that just died, and they just was like, fuck, we don't know what the hell happened, and just left it alone at that point.
That shit's crazy. Because,
like, I didn't know about him until my wife was like, did you hear about Dino, how he got found murdered in his house and nobody never found the killer? And I'm like, how far is this back? She was like, WWF had just started the golden era and he was already found killed and murdered before that. Mm-hmm. So this is a big gap of time. Nobody knows who the hell killed this guy still.
That's crazy.
One more current event news before we go. Did you happen to catch Killer Cross's new name? They changed his name for WWE because obviously they don't want to call him Killer.
Oh,
yeah, you know.
What's his name?
What is the new name? I knew they were going to change it. I knew they were going to Cross for it, but it wasn't going to until
his name is Carrion Cross. Karrion. Carrion.
Gay. I'm still going to call him Killer Cross. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
He said gay?
Yes, you and the rest of the internet will still call him Killer Cross, yes. But his name for NXT is Carrion Cross.
Bro, can we get more ECW stories in Dark Side of the Ring? I think.
Bruh, let me tell you, if they just did a whole season 2 of just ECW wrestlers, I feel like that would be the most ratings ever. Because then you got to go get Taz, you got to go get you got to go get Bubba Ray, you got to get Sabu, you got to get Sandman. Oh, please bring Sandman.
Oh, him in the New Jack story. He was hilarious in the New Jack story.
Yeah, he was. He was in a bar drinking.
I never heard the Sandman talk that much ever in my life seeing this man wrestle.
Oh, you should watch what's that show? Keeping Kayfabe on YouTube.
Somebody told me that shit too. Matter of fact, I think
hold on, I follow the channel. Let me see what it's called. I forgot the exact name of the channel.
I forgot who said that to me. Somebody said it to me when I was streaming on Twitch the other day too.
George F says RVD. I don't think RVD got any crazy stories. He seems too clean.
He got a couple of shit because he did.
He got weed stories.
He smoked. He smoked a lot of weed. He smoked a lot of weed and he fucked a lot of hookers. So he know he got some stories.
But I feel like he seems very calm and chill. I don't know if I can't picture him having no.
No, he's a dude that sits in the corner, watches everything to tell his story later.
Exactly.
That was me within my group of friends.
Yeah.
I was a person that just chilled on the side, and then I know all the stories.
Darv is following kayfabe right now. He don't want to break kayfabe. Darv, we know you a killer, bro.
RVD and Matt Riddle are the same person. The only thing about Matt Riddle is he's married. He has kids. That's the only difference. But them motherfuckers are too laid back. And they do too much weed to not have stories about anybody else they was around and did any other hardcore.
I bet you RVD's seen some crazy shit and all that, but I don't think he's involved in none of the craziness. He seems too. He's
not.
Chill.
He probably not, but he'd be a good narrator for most of the ECW. Seeing how he was there so long for most of the shit.
He was there Stone Cold, their Rock or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if you can get any of the ECW guys to come there and tell stories about ECW for real, I feel like Paul Heyman to get on Twitter and try to correct niggas for real.
Yeah, he'll probably tell it what it is.
No, Paul Heyman would try to clean his story up so he don't get sued.
Oh, that too. Yeah, he's been hanging with
technically. Shit, what do you call it? When WWE did that damn rise and fall of ECW, and all the wrestlers was like, "Yeah, nigga, he still owe us money." He was like, "I owe them shit. I gave them their money." I was like, first of all, that's Paul Heyman. That's how he feel.
He wrote checks that they couldn't cash. That's what he did. He wrote them checks. The checks didn't cash.
Word, you can't blame him for that. That's not his fault.
Now, remember last week when we were talking about WrestleMania, I said I had notes. I brought them. One page.
Yeah, damn, nigga, that shit like you typed it out.
Oh, shit.
Pages. Just to say I had them. I wasn't bullshit. I took some detailed notes for WrestleMania.
Damn, Darth,
I see you. Shit, you channeled your inner X-Man Dan from back in the day.
Yes.
Word. Yes. Shout out to Champion Jobber in the chat. Sup, fellas? Sorry, a little late. You're more than a little late. More than a little.
Please watch the stream once we're done. We had a very good conversation today. We didn't even have to talk about regular shit.
Yeah, today was good.
Yeah, we did. We made talk about the dark side of shit.
Today was good.
Because I was kind of bored this week. Other than what really happened this week?
Don't watch WWE. Watch UHW. Boom.
Yeah.
Raw was like Seth Rollins did his little shit, starting this feud nobody gives a fuck about. Because he don't have no Blake Murphy or his AOP, so he's back solo.
Yeah, NXT was all right.
Selena Vega got a new group now. They got 2 NXT guys up on the main roster for no apparent reason. I guess because they fired so many niggas, they had to use what they got.
Yep.
Ain't shit else.
Yeah, and like I said, AEW lost this week. It wasn't a horrible show. It was just meh.
It was a horrible show. It's just everything's getting bland now. Like it's starting to die down now. Like hell, it's like some days now I'll be like, I can just miss rest. I can miss Raw, SmackDown, and just watch it later on Instagram and see what the hell happened.
Yep. Well, I think it's time for us to go.
Word, I might go in the house and finish that Dark Side while my wife is still up.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it on Sunday because I'm off again, so I should have time to watch it.
And it's the second Benoit episode, Darth. There's still some good stuff in there, even though I think you know it all, but the interviews are what make it kind of good.
Okay, I want to watch Jimmy Snuka first. If I got time, I'll do Benoit episode 2.
Yeah, Snuka's good.
All right, I have been Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, always on his worst behavior. And you, sir.
I've been Alex the motherfucking Hill, and this was a fun night tonight.
Yes, it was, and we are out.
Peace.
Peace.